Okay, so over the last few weeks, we've been focusing, or at least trying to focus on Jesus, just Jesus, who he is. And I wonder how you've experienced that. I mean, I would imagine that while it sounds like a no-brainer, Jesus is at the center of our faith. Of course, we want to love him and know him and see him and worship him. But in reality, how many of you have found that hard work? Now, I don't say that as a judgment, but rather, to go back to what I've been saying in different ways, isn't it amazing how we can have such an appetite for Jesus things and church things and the kind of return on investment side of Jesus, yet maybe you're finding it hard to just focus on Jesus. So in this video, I want to give you one longish quote, one thought and one passage of scripture that I'm hoping is going to bring this all together for us. So the quote is by Christian author Henry Nouwen, and he writes, "Beneath our worrying lives, however, something else is going on. While our minds and hearts are filled with many things, and we wonder how we can live up to the expectations imposed on us by ourselves and others, we have a deep sense of unfulfillment. While busy with and worried about many things, we seldom feel truly satisfied, at peace, or at home. A gnawing sense of being unfulfilled underlies our filled lives. Boredom is a sentiment of disconnectedness. To be bored, therefore, does not mean that we have nothing to do, but that we question the value of the things we are so busy doing. The great paradox of our time is that many of us are busy and bored at the same time. In short, while our lives are full, we feel unfulfilled." Now, doesn't that describe so many of us and our pursuits and our experience of unfulfillment? Now, on the other side of things, here's the thought I wanted to share with you. And that is, I was listening to how many pleasures have these diminishing returns. So, for example, the first time you ever get your own new pair of shoes, you feel excited and you're imagining how these shoes are going to change your whole social status. Or maybe that was just my high school fantasy. But each time you get a new pair of shoes, it just gets less and less exciting. And so you need to get better things and bigger things to get that same kind of buzz and joy. The same is true, for example, with alcohol, and I'm not saying you should be doing this, but all I'm saying is that if you want to get a buzz from drinking alcohol, you need to drink more alcohol each time to get that same level of buzz. And so we get bored of our stuff and our lives and our entertainment. But there's one pleasure, at least according to this study I was listening to, that works in the opposite direction. And that is the pleasure we derive from awe. Where the more you're exposed to awe and things that are truly awesome, the more capacity you have to enjoy those things. Which is why for some of you can never grow tired of staring out at the sea from that one spot you love, or hiking up some amazing mountains and just to experience the feeling of those views and that sense of being so small when compared to their majestic presence. In other words, if we're literally bored sick, what we really need is more awe in our lives and being exposed to more and more things worthy of our awe. And the more we do that, the more our capacity for enjoying those things will grow, which leads me now to read from Hebrews 12, verses 1 to 3. "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart." Now, do you see how this brings it all together? That if Jesus is who he says he is, the one being who is literally matchless in his awe and power and love, that means that if we fix our eyes on him, and the more we fix our eyes on him, the more in awe we will be and become, and the more capacity for joy and awe we will have. And to be honest, I think so much of our discipleship is learning this. And even when these video sessions move on to another topic, and even when we're preaching on other aspects of faith, just to come back to this, that at the heart of it all is Jesus. He is what our heart needs. The eternity set in our hearts, according to the book of Ecclesiastes, is most satisfied in His awesome self. And I'm just praying we believe that. And then, yes, we begin to see and experience our hearts and our imaginations grow in love and awe of Jesus.